My name is Megan Lynch. This is the master class. Now, um, as a Elevate member, you get one master class a week. So our master classes will be on Saturdays. As a pro and a legend, you also get this master class, but you also get education with the vault. You get Vibe Tribe. You also have an opportunity to just be able to connect. And then as legends, you get all of those things, but you also get Vibe Global, which many of you guys have filled out your Vibe Global onboarding. Many of you have started to upload in Vibe Style. Vibe Style is actually a um, direct sales product. It's not actually inside of any of the memberships. It's a direct sales product. And really, it's just merchandise. I don't want to say just, it's merchandise, but you get an opportunity to actually participate and create your designs as well. As a legend, you get to be a creator. So over the next 30 days, 30 to 90 days, you're going to see Vibe really, truly come alive. And what I believe Vibe is going to be, if you guys can write this down, what my vision is that we are like a Skillshare, Udemy, Teachable, um, School, which is another platform, on steroids. We actually are a Skillshare with a referral program attached to it. And why do I say that? Because when you really look at our core product, which is the Vibe Vault, that is all education, learning, growth, spirituality wrapped into one pathway. Vibe Global is you becoming the vault. This is where now you get to have your own courses. You get an opportunity to share your skills. I met a lady yesterday who's like, oh, I don't know. She's a teacher, mind you. She teaches high school and she's a Spanish teacher. A beautiful young Black woman, has a family, husband, kids. And she said, well, I don't know if I'm going to have time. I said, you're teaching 180 days out of the year. You're teaching 7 to 10 classes a day, 5 days a week, plus going to meetings, lesson plans. Plus, every year we have to have personal development as teachers that we have to pay for. And I know she's not making any more than $3,000 a month to do that. I said, I could show you how to create a course and market that course, to 100 people times $20. Do the math on that. And I know it's not always about the income, it's about the impact, but I wanted to paint a picture for her and show her how much impact you could really have if you start working smarter and not harder, not leave your job, right? That's not what I was telling her. I was telling her, while you're working your 9 to 5, why don't you create a course for Spanish learners? What I could show you how to create a onboarding course for Vibe, but in Spanish, and utilize your skill set to make even more income on the side. Because let's not get it twisted, guys. People get into business to make money, and as a teacher, we wait until the summertime to be able to live. We are super busy. So I loved teaching, ladies and gentlemen. I just didn't like the restrictive nature of teaching. I didn't care for the pay too much because I was kind of locked into only making income one way. I really didn't have an opportunity to make extra income and I needed it. And then guess what? They told us, well, listen, after school, you can work in the library for 2 hours after school for $10 an hour. And guess what? I did it. You know why? Because I needed the money. 2 kids, single parent, just got divorced. I was really, truly just looking for a way to supplement my income. And I didn't want to be an administrator because then I have to be at the school all the time. And money was not that important to me. You know what was really important? Time. Time is not money. Time is time, and you cannot get any of it back. How many of you guys agree with me? Just put a 1 in the chat. If you're just trying to figure out how to have more time, if I could spend one more hour with my Father, would I give up all the money that I have? Absolutely 100% I would give it up for one more hour. You know why? Because I can make more money, but time with people you love is priceless. Time is priceless. So do me a favor, guys, if you're messaging me privately, if you can go to everyone in your chat so that everyone can see your messages, that would be phenomenal, right? So let's talk today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited about this training. It's called the Vibe Roadmap. And Vibe is really you, okay? It's all about you. Your journey to purpose, profit, and personal power starts here. So feel free to ask questions in the chat. And this is a short training. So I'm going to always tell you what we talked about the week prior. This is my first master class I'm excited about, but then we get an opportunity to take the last 15 minutes and be able to just connect and to communicate. So I wanted to set that up and preface it for all of you guys, okay? Let's get down to business. So I kept my PowerPoint slides super short so that we have time to talk today. So today, we're going to give a quick introduction. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. We're going to talk about the roadmap, and then we're going to focus on month 1 through 3. What do you do in month 1 through 3? What do you do in months 4 through 6, 7 through 9, 10 through 12? And then we're going to talk about, honestly, something that I learned that has made me a considerable amount of money. And I never thought I would use it. I learned it in teaching speech class as a high school teacher. It's called Monroe's Motivated Sequence. And if you guys can master Monroe's Motivated Sequence, I don't care what you're doing in your life, if it is relationships with other people, if it is a business, if it's network marketing, I don't care what it is. If you master Monroe's Motivated Sequence, it's the power of persuasion. You can pretty much do anything. Okay. And then we're going to end with what's called legend moves. This is where I open it up to all of you, and you can ask a very, very quick question, and I'll give you the quickest answer possible. And hopefully we'll get a lot of questions in that 15-minute opportunity. All right. So let's get down to business, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So what is Vibe? And I always give you these PowerPoint slides, so don't feel like that you have to write down everything. If you want a snapshot, you can. But Vibe stands for Visualize Your Breakthrough. It's a platform and movement that equips everyday people to launch businesses, create digital products, and lead with purpose. With tools, training, and community, Vibe turns passion into profit. So when someone asks you, what do we do? Try to master that in some form or another. We do business, we do education, we do community, we do fitness and health. We have 7 pathways. If you start going down that rabbit hole with people, you will lose them. Just learn the fact that we equipped everyday people to launch businesses, create digital products, and lead with purpose. That's what we do. What is this class about today? This class is your roadmap for success at Vibe. You'll learn how to launch your business, structure your course using Monroe's Motivated Sequence, and grow a team using the FID system, all within your first year, right? This is not a get in here for 30 days. I didn't make money day 1, so I quit. There's a lot of people who quit the business, right? A lady just called me. I hope she's on this call. And she called, well, I want to talk about my disappointment with, I just stopped her right there. She said, well, when can I talk about that? I said, never. Never can you talk to me about disappointment. We talk solutions. Because come to find out, some people came over here for the product, but not really, right? For the value. And I said, listen, let's talk about how we're going to be successful. I don't want to talk about problems, because if you talk about problems, you go down a rabbit hole of more problems, right? So that is not what I will ever do on the phone with anybody, right? I would rather than find something else to do. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I know sometimes people say, well, Megan's going to give it to you straight and she's going to punch you in the stomach with cotton gloves. And honestly, I don't want to be known for that, right? I really want people to feel like Jason talked about on today's class. Guys, put a one in the chat if you were on Jason's call today. Jason is my no nonsense, punch me in the stomach with no cotton gloves. That's why I feel like I've grown because I need somebody in my life who's not going to be a yes man or yes woman. I need someone in my life who's going to tell me what I need to know and not always be tiptoeing around my feelings all the time. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, right? If I need to change, I would rather somebody tell me. I ask God for discernment. I ask God, show me when I'm wrong immediately so I can fix it. I'm not perfect, but I don't want to be walking in the wrong direction for too long. Abraham Hicks talks about the GPS, right? You know how the GPS, when you start going the wrong direction, it's like uh, you're going the wrong direction. You're going the wrong direction. Rerouting, rerouting. It's going to continue to reroute. I would rather have someone in my life to help me reroute than to just tell me what I want to hear. Thank you, Jonathan. Jonathan, I cannot wait for you guys to hear Jonathan do a presentation. I'm putting him on the spot this week because I have all my leaders who are getting ready to start presenting. When I heard Jonathan do a presentation, I was like, that's what I want to hear. It was like, it blew me away where people are like, Megan, you're such a great presenter. Honestly, I think Jonathan is a far better presenter of the presentation than I am, right? I feel like I'm great at coaching and training and I can do the presentation. However, I I know when I need to work on a few things and I studied his presentation. Then I studied Phil's presentation and it was like, okay, totally different than Jonathan. And I learned so much listening. Then got on Coach Kola and there's a lot of presenters out here and I pick up from all of them. So I am a former high school teacher turned entrepreneur and co-owner of Vibe. Uh, However, I'm a lifelong learner who listens to grow and grows to lead. My passion is to inspire others to find their purpose and walk boldly in their greatness. That is what I want to do. That's what makes me super excited. I got a chance to talk to three individuals who came into our program and she presented like her second day of joining the company and I was blown away. Then I spoke to them and I got so much joy out of helping other people see their greatness. That is what I do. Okay. Or that's what I strive to do, I should say. Okay. That's what I strive to do. So, um, let's dive into this really quickly. Okay. Um, Gonna kind of go back just a minute. This class is definitely about the roadmap for success at Vibe. You're going to learn how to launch your business, structure your course using Monroe's motivated sequence, and grow using FID, foundation, identify leaders, duplicate. What should you get out of this class? By the end of this session that we're doing right now, you'll know exactly where you're going, how to get there, and how to help others do the same. You'll leave with a clear step-by-step plan to launch, create, and duplicate using Vibe's proven system. So you guys can let me know if I need to take one piece or two pieces and further expound in weeks to come. Okay? So let's get down to business, ladies and gentlemen. What you see right here is a funnel. Did you guys know that funnels also look like what? Type it in the chat. What does this funnel look like if you turn it upside down? Does anybody know? I'll just kind of wait for you guys to share, right? It looks like a pyramid. Absolutely, Lisa. It looks like a triangle, a cone, right? And a lot of people don't like pyramids, but do you know that the pyramid was the strongest structure ever built and it still is today? And I often wonder how they created the pyramids, right? And did they create the pyramids in 1 month, ladies and gentlemen? Yes or no? Type it in the chat. Did they create those pyramids in 1 month back in the day? No. Did they create it in 2 months? Did they create it in 2 years? Did they create it in 20 years? You know what's crazy about where we live today? We are in a instant gratification timeline. But let's go back, guys. We're all on the same timeline that Jesus was on. We're on the same timeline that Ruth was on. We're on the same timeline that Moses was on. We're on the same timeline, right? Right. I know I do. Talk to me about the aliens. I'm a fan. I do research, right? Um, but we're on the same timeline, ladies and gentlemen. But back then, they really had no sense of time. They just had to do the work. They just had to put their heads down. And some people died building those pyramids. Some people were slaves building those pyramids. Some people never got to see the pyramid result, right? They never got to see it. They were building something that now we get to experience. Do you guys understand that that's how life is, right? The sure things that we know of is, I used to say, the sure things that I know about myself is I'm going to stay black, pay taxes, and die one day. That's what I know. But now I can't even say that because I can't say because people change their colors all the time. But I used to say that all the time. But there are some things that we know for sure are going to happen in our life. But no, and everybody type and in the chat. We're gonna do a word swap like Jason says, and we're not gonna say but, because but means it's kind of a dismissal to people. If somebody says, you know what, Alexis, you know what, Johnny Hall, I'm really just tired and frustrated, and I don't like how you've been treating me. And someone says, yeah, but they just dismissed everything that you said. Okay, I understand what you're saying, and I have empathy for it. So let's talk about why that is so we can get right. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we are all building something, and we may not be able to see it. However, we want our family bloodline to continue. And if it may not be our bloodline, I don't know Hattie, right? But Hattie may continue what we've started into her grandkids and so on and so forth. So the roadmap, ladies and gentlemen, is just the starting point. So welcome to your year of growth, purpose, and breakthrough. As long as you don't give up and don't quit, I truly believe that you're going to grow being in Vibe. I never meant for Vibe to be another network marketing company, because network marketers are fickle. If they don't make the money that they thought they were going to make with the work that they didn't do, they're going to quit. I want to build a university of greatness. This roadmap will guide you through a 12-month journey of becoming a digital leader, content creator, and entrepreneur within the Vibe ecosystem, right? This is all about preservation. So here's your path, okay? Month 1 through 3, everybody type the word ignite for me, please. Type the word ignite. Lay the foundation and launch your business. Your business might be your networking business with the 3x10 Legacy Network. Your business might be your family business. Write this down. I hope you guys are taking notes. This is not a network marketing company. Vibe is life. I don't teach network marketing. I teach life. I didn't teach English. I taught life. Even my department chair said, Megan, listen, I got called in the office. Could you just stick to the curriculum? I know you like to teach life and all. I wanted to just smack them around. But I didn't, because I would have been fired. But I said, there's nothing else. I teach life through English and speech communication and theater. These kids don't care about Romeo and Juliet. I got to figure out what's the point of Romeo and Juliet. You know what the point is? Slow down. Those who run fast stumble. That was the point of Romeo and Juliet. I told my kids in the very beginning, this is what you're going to learn. Slow down. Romeo met Juliet. He broke up with his girlfriend, Rosalind, met Juliet, fell in lust with her, wanted to have sex with her. She didn't want to have sex, so he said, let's get married. They got married. Their families hated each other. So they were super happy to be together. And then somebody accidentally got killed playing around and joking in the courtyard. And then Romeo got banished. So they had this idea, well, like, we're going to just come together. I'm going to fake my death. And then we're going to run off together. Well, Romeo didn't get the memo. So then they ended up killing each other, killing themselves, right? They committed suicide. And then their families sat around looking stupid because their families were fighting the whole time. That's the roadmap of Romeo and Juliet, right? And it all happened in 6 days. 6 days. So guess what I taught my kids? Slow down. Those who run fast stumble. Slow your butt down and learn. Okay. So I'm sure that was more than what you guys wanted to know about Romeo and Juliet, but I want you guys to slow down. I want you to ignite your curiosity, lay the foundation and launch your family business. Get reconnected with your wife or your husband. Get connected with, the people around you, because when they die, that is not the time for you to be mourning them. You should be dancing. My granny told me 2 weeks before she died, if you didn't love me while I was here, don't cry for me when I'm gone. I want you guys to be better lovers of life in month 1 through 3. Month 4 through 6, I want you to elevate. Everybody type you in the chat. I want you to elevate. Stop looking at the paycheck. The paycheck will elevate when you elevate. I want you to focus on strategic monetization and course development. I promise you guys, there's something in you that that you could teach and put it inside of Vibe Global Dream World Connects, because eventually we're going to look like Skillshare. And Skillshare has 600,000 courses in it. Aren't you guys excited that there are no courses right now inside of Dream World Connects? There are no courses in there, zero, zilch. And you'll get to put your first courses in there. But I'm not doing this for today or a month from now. I'm doing this so that 5 years from now, Dream World Connects will have 600,000 courses in it. And somebody would have already taken your course 14,000 times. Somebody do the math on that for me real quick. I saw this lady inside of Skillshare and 14,000 people took one of her courses. What if you charged $20? How much would you have made? Can you guys see that right now, though? Can you elevate your mindset enough to not be thinking about spillover? And that's just one course. She had like 1,000 courses she put back there. 1,000. Can you guys see it? Can you imagine? Right? Elevate. I'm focused on strategic monetization. I don't want to be doing network marketing all the time, begging people to do stuff that they don't potentially want to do, right? I would rather people want to come over here and spend $250 a month because they're making $2,000 a month on courses. And it's just a byproduct that they just so happen to make some money in the compensation plan. And it just so happened that matrix over the next 12 to 36 months is going to fill up completely because I'll have 88,000 people over here. But some people are going to quit before that ever happens because they don't have vision. Strategic monetization. I'm already in my strategic monetization. We just pre-launched for 5 months, but technically we're in our 11th day of our official launch, but we're not, right? We're in strategic monetization here at Vibe. Now we need to get you guys there. Month 7 through 9, guess what Vibe is going to do? We're going to thrive, expand your impact, and begin automation. Do you guys understand that if the leaders on this call, all of you guys just committed to referring 3 go-getters to Vibe, that everybody's money is going to blow up? 3, right? That is it. Let's just back up a minute. Everybody put a 1 in the chat. Do you guys know that if you just referred 1 person to the platform a month or a week or a day, and everybody decided to march like that, do you understand how many people would fall into the matrix? And eventually the spill under would get to you, but you're going to refer one and teach them to refer one and teach them to refer one. Do that through 10 levels. And then guess what? Go get another person and teach them to get one and them to get one and them to get one. And then go get a third person and do that and teach everybody to get one. And then guess what? Teach everybody to get 3 to 7 people over the next, I don't know, 12 months. However long it takes you, it doesn't matter. Do you understand that we're going to thrive? Right? It might take some of you 3 months or 7 months to get 7 people, and then they duplicate. Would you guys be okay with spending $3,000, 250 times 12 months? You spend about $3,000. Would you be okay spending $3,000 right now today? If you knew if you don't quit, you're getting ready to build a 2 to 5,000 a month, 10 to 20,000 a month residual income. Would you do it, ladies and gentlemen? That's how you have to think. That's how I think about networking. If I could teach 7 to get 7 to get 7, it might take me a whole year to do it. But if I teach them how to do it, I'm going to amass about 20, 30, 40, 50,000 a month, potentially 400,000 a month. Is it worth it to put in the work right now? For me, yes, because I want to thrive. Month 10 through 12 is where you're going to amplify. Everybody type the word shine inside the chat, right? My dad's favorite song, Barkays, right? Shine. My niece listens to that song every single day, right? I love the song, but some days I can't listen to it because it puts me down sometimes, right? But it also, I listen to his other songs, I can hear him in there. And I said, okay, I got to get to the point where this song brings me joy. And how can I do that? How can I be a light for other people? And you know what I decided? Every time I hear that song, I'm going to call a family member and I'm going to send them a text message and say something nice, that I love them, that I think they're phenomenal. And I'm going to pour my energy into someone else like my dad did in my life, right? And this is how we build a legacy. This is how we focus on wealth. Do you guys understand that wealth is not really just about money? Because when your health fails, nothing matters. So how can we be wealthy in relationships? How can we be wealthy in just energy that we put out? How can we really truly shine? And my 8th grade health teacher, she's kind of weird. She was a little weird back then, ladies and gentlemen. I thought she was weird. Now looking back, she wasn't weird at all. She was very eccentric. And I remember she used to say, don't blow other people's candle out to make yours shine brighter. And as a 8th grade student, we're like, oh, that's just weird, blah, blah, blah. And then as I get to be an adult, I'm like, she was right. I can shine without blowing someone else's candle out. You guys agree with that, right? Just give me an amen if you agree with it. I can shine. Other people can shine. So we're going to talk about this roadmap, right? So let's look at month 1 through 3 really quickly. Here's what you can do. You can focus on laying the foundation and launching with clarity. Over the last 5 months, I've showed up every single day because I wanted to give people clarity on the compensation plan, right? Did I do a great job? Maybe I could have done a little bit better job of telling people, listen, rookies, don't stay a rookie. You run the risk for 45 days of not making any money if you don't put into the legacy network. I probably should have been that clear and said, listen, don't even pay your money as a Vibe partner if you don't plan on working. That's what I should have said. But I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So I wanted to give everybody an opportunity to learn and grow. But some people heard, I can come in and get a pro membership and you're going to pay me $1,800 on day 1, even though I haven't done a gosh darn thing. I haven't done a 3-way. I haven't done a launch call. I don't even know your last name, Megan, because I don't even get on your calls. but I was trying to be, gentle. But now I realize I got to be honest with people. You come in here as a rookie and pay a pro membership, and you got 5 levels, and you got to sit around and wait for somebody else to do the work. And if they do the work and they fall into your 5 levels of 363 positions, we'll pay you even though you don't deserve it. That's what I should have said. But that sounds mean, doesn't it? But that's what I said to my leaders in our group. And they said, listen, all legend here, and I'm producing legends. And guess what? I paid out $600,000 to them. Paid out 600,000. So listen, you got to choose your membership. Don't choose it based on the money I can make if I choose this membership. It doesn't work that way. Choose your membership based on the value. If you're an Elevate member, you get this masterclass once a week. And you get an opportunity to go through some of the back office, but you're just sticking your toe in it. Pro is a great membership to start at. I'm not even going to lie to you. It's phenomenal. You get the vault. You get all the education. You get all those things, right? Legend means I want to be a creator. I want to create t-shirts, hats, gloves, mugs. You guys are going to get a chance to see the 40,000 square foot facility so you can see what you could really create, because you have no idea. It's way bigger than you creating a mug, okay? And we're creating our own vibe style because we have a partnership through another company, but guess what? We're going to build our own vibe style so we can give you more revenue share, so we're not splitting it with somebody else. We're splitting it 3 ways. We don't want to do that. So we'll use them for a second. But then guess what? We're in the process of building our own. So we only got to split stuff with Johnny, me and Johnny, right? Vibe and Johnny, so he can make more money. We're going to put up more money and create it so Johnny can make more money. Does that make sense, guys? So you want to do that. And listen, here's the thing. You have to schedule your official launch call within 7 days. Really, you want to do it within 24 to 48 hours. It's called First 48. You want to schedule a launch call like Sunshine did and her husband Cedric. And she did the presentation and she just joined a couple days ago. And she said, nope, I'm going to jump out here and do it. I don't care. If I know everything, I'm going to read the slides. And I got on her call. And she did a phenomenal job. Listen. And she signed up. One person's going to join the business. Boom, boom, booyah, like they used to say back in the day. One person. Now she's going to schedule her one person's launch within 48 hours and then schedule that person's launch within 48 hours. Invite your first 3 partners. G3, H3, G3, get 3, help 3, get 3. That's the strategy. If you can do that fast, guys, you are down 3 levels and you potentially put those people in there and you potentially made $15 on your first level, anywhere from $9 to $15 on your first level, up to $45 on your second level. And I think it's up to $135 or something on the next level, right? Get 3, help 3, get 3. Doesn't include fast starts, doesn't include your check matches. So I'm only talking about the $3 and $5. It is simple. Get 3, help 3, get 3, right? And build down. Clarify your message. And then for those of you guys who want to be course creators, I need you to start thinking about your course topics. On Wednesday, this Wednesday coming up, is Vibe Global in this back office. And I am going to show you guys. And if you bring me what I tell you to bring me at the end of this call, I will probably help you think of things for your course that you never thought of before. I did it with Sunshine yesterday. I put her whole course together at the start of it. And here you should think about branding yourself this way. And that's what I'm going to be doing for you guys, right? Complete your Vibe profile and onboarding checklist. Set your 90-day goals. Do you guys know what your 90-day goal is over here? Do you know what your first 30-day income goal is? How much money do you want to make in your first 30 days? Also, what impact do you want to create in your first 30 days? Am I going to start creating content in my first 30 days? That's what you want to think about. Income, impact, content creation. Those are the 3 things that I believe in month 1 through 3 you should be focused on. How much income do I want to make? Well, it depends on how fast you go through Legend 777. How fast you can G3, H3, G3. That's it. Impact might be that now you're like Bev and Miss Denise, and they're starting seniorpreneurs Thursday at 4 p.m. I didn't tell them to do it either. They just know that there are seniors out there that need some help. And I said, get on it. And if I were you, I'd create a YouTube channel. And then I'll show you how to upload quick snippet videos. And now you become the face of seniorpreneurs. How many of you guys want to become the face of this company? Just put me in the chat. Because you're here first. You are here first. Thousands of people might not continue with us next year or next month. That is okay with me, right? I'm going to take the people who are here for the right reasons. And guess what? You guys need to become the face of Vibe. Megan Lynch cannot be the face, right? I got to duck off into the bushes like Homer Simpson. You want to also learn how to begin learning Monroe's motivated sequence, power of persuasion. In your month 1 through 3, I'm going to teach that to you guys in a sec. You want to plug in to team huddles, Vibe calls, and Telegram leadership chats. You want to follow the FID system. Build your foundation. I did it. 75,000 people came in. Did I think all of them would activate? Nope. Right? But 4,000 of them activated. And then out of those 4,000, I started to identify leaders, or leaders started to identify themselves. And then guess what? We're going to duplicate the right message. Do you guys have that, right? Just put an ignite in the chat if you got month 1 through 3. This is a lot to unpack, but we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to create a course for month 1 through 3 in the back office, and you're going to see it come alive this month. You're going to see it come alive, and I'm going to break it down and unpack so you can go through all of this, right? Month 4 through 6, this is when you're going to elevate, focus on strategic monetization, finalize and organize your course content for upload. Use Monroe's motivated sequence to outline your lessons. I'm going to talk about that. Upload your first video lessons or digital product. Some of you are ahead of the game because you've been creating courses for the last 5 months. Set up your course funnel or promo plan inside of Vibe. We're going to help you guys do that, right? Vibe is a funnel right now. If you give someone your referral link, do you guys know that's a funnel? Because they can sign up for free, and then they're going to go into the back office. They can see the numbers going up. They can push buttons and see that we're real, and you can see their phone numbers back there. Do you guys understand that that is a funnel that we created for you guys already? And if I were you guys, I would be doing videos and putting my link everywhere and signing up as many people as I can as guests, and then taking their phone numbers and emails and reaching out to them and telling them why they should be a part of Vibe and how they can contribute. Host a small group workshop or live preview session. Identify which team members are duplicating the system and work with those people. Give 80% of your time to the duplicators and 20% of your time to 80% of your time to the workers, 20% of your time to the whiners, and then eventually the whiners will go away because you won't be giving them any attention. It's like I used to do to my kids. If they didn't even tried to fall out in Walmart, they would be tried it one time, kicked and screamed on the ground. I walked right over the top of them and kept leaving. We just walked on out the door. Now, these days, you can't really do that because people are crazy, and I don't want anybody stealing my kid. But I just didn't give them any attention. I just kept on walking, looking in the aisle, putting groceries in my cart. I'm like, hey, you ready to go? I'm going to the next aisle. Reinforce your personal brand across your platform and socials, right? We're going to show you guys how to set up a YouTube channel. I'm going to show you how to do that this week. Every single one of you guys should have a YouTube channel, especially if you're a part of the NFL. No friends left. Stay consistent with calls, huddles, and value-based content. Write this down, guys. I am going to be dropping on Monday, right? I'm going to be dropping a Calendly link, and you are going to be able to schedule for you and your downline, success line. Anybody that is in your downline that you put there, I want you to schedule a 15-minute team huddle And I'm going to be doing these all day, all night until I get through them until Friday. Because Friday, and then I'm taking the weekend to spend with my significant other, right? He is being patient, right? He's being patient with this process. But I'm going to work Monday through Friday and probably sooner than that so that we can set up those team huddles. And then guess what I want to happen? Joanna, if Rosa is a part of your team, I want Rosa to also set up a team huddle with her and her downline. But Rosa might say, well, Megan, I only have one person. Great. Set up a team huddle, like I said. I didn't say, I didn't ask you how many people you had. I said set up a team huddle so I can get on there. And now the next time you do a team huddle, it should grow. But it will never grow if you guys keep getting on my team huddles and your team does not see you as a leader. So guess what? They're going to leave and go sell socks and toothpicks in some other company because you're not leading them, right? They need to be connected to you, not me. That's how you elevate. Everybody type elevate in the chat really quickly. Month 7 through 9, we're going to thrive, okay? Go ahead and write elevate so I know you guys got it, right? Then we're going to thrive. We're going to focus on expansion and automation. Why? Because we want to take vacations. We don't want to be sitting on Zooms and we want to be watching Rachel and getting in touch with our inner healing, or getting on with Zia, or getting on with Mike, or learning about ourselves with Justin. We want to get on those calls, laying in a lawn chair on the beach. How many of you guys are with me, right? Just put me in the chat if that is the 7 to 9 month goal, right? Launch a second course then. Do a workshop or a digital product of some sort, like an ebook. Because if everybody wants to take Jerome's class and 100 people pay him $20 and he makes a 70% of that, and then he creates an ebook and now 500 people buy his ebook because he created a digital product. Well, Megan, I don't know how to do that. Well, great. Then let's talk about it. Let's figure those things out and ask Tony to do it, and she'll show you guys in her classes on Sunday, right? We're going to create automated systems for onboarding and communication. We have already done that. You guys, we're getting ready to roll out a webinar system where you guys can send out a link, and no matter when they click that link, they can watch a webinar. And it seems like it's going on live. Build a content schedule to stay visible and consistent. Mind you guys, I have a calendar for you guys, right? I got a calendar. There's a calendar in the back office that keeps you, engaged. Train emerging leaders using the FID system, right? If I lose my voice, I know I have a whole leadership group of people that I've been coaching since December who can take my place. When my father died, Carlos, Latanya, Phil, Catherine, Ray, Hassani, right? They all went to Tampa for me. I was supposed to be in Tampa for a week. My dad passed. So they went for me. So the train didn't stop, right? Help your team members upload their own courses or products. Understand this, guys, that your personals equal courses. I personally referred Desiree to the program. I want to encourage Desiree to create courses, because if she creates a course and she makes 70% of that, then there's a 30% left over, and you're going to make a part of that. I would make a part of that 30%. I don't care if it's 5% or 10%. I would make a portion of those courses. So guess what I would do if I was Ronette? Ronette, I would go have all my people creating courses, and I would be promoting the heck out of their courses. We want to create the right behavior. So we'll pay your sponsor if your sponsor will support you. Do you guys see what we've done? You're not alone, Desiree. You're not alone, Ronette, right? In Skillshare, you're by yourself. You got to promote yourself. Over here, we've created a funnel, a behavior of somebody else supporting you so that you can make money too. They make money, you make money, company makes money. Streamline your income streams through duplication and digital sales. Personals creating courses. This is passive income. Host leadership calls or accountability pods, right? Hey, let's all get on Sundays and talk about our challenges first, and then let's come with solutions. Don't wait for me to do this, guys. I want you to do it. Track metrics. What's your income look like daily? What's your engagement look like daily? What's your course completion look like daily? What's it look like weekly, monthly? Position yourself as a go-to authority in your niche. Megan, I don't know what my niche market is. How many of you guys want me to tell you how to find it real quick? All you got to do is go to a text message and I want you to send a text to yourself and I want you to ramble nonstop all about yourself, your failures, your successes, what you like, what you don't like, what you wish would happen, what's been happening, what's blah, blah, blah. Just ramble and then copy it into Chat GPT and say, chat, give me about 10 to 15 different niche markets with titles and potential courses I could create based on my profile, and watch and see what happens. You just need to work smarter, not harder, right? Work smarter, not harder, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody type thrive in the chat. How many of you guys are ready to start thriving? Okay. And I'm going to give you this PowerPoint PDF. I'm going to put it inside of the back office so that you can have it, right? Month 10 through 12. I want you guys to amplify and shine. Focus on legacy and wealth preservation. This is where you refine, right? You refine and relaunch your most successful course or products, right? That little bullet point shouldn't be there. I got to fix that. Refine and relaunch your most successful courses or products or, foundation. Identify leader. You got to relaunch, refine. Create systems to sustain passive income and automation, right? Let me fix this because this is going to bother me. Okay. And what that's going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is that is going to help you start to understand really, truly what it is that worked and what didn't work. Some things are going to work. Some things are not. So you got to refine. You got to relaunch. Okay. All right, back to business. My OCD was kicking in. Okay, mentor new leaders to carry the vision forward. Develop long-term plans for brand growth and impact. Explore investments, savings, and smart strategies. This might take you 3 months, guys. 10th month, 11th month, 12th month. Host a virtual summit, challenge, or live event. Do you guys know we're going to be doing all these things? And what do you think is going to happen as people start to really, truly explore everything that we have to offer? I should let that go, but I can't. But really think about what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, as you really start to grow. So this is a comprehensive plan. It is a college or university, if you will. It is where you are going to solidify your digital legacy through consistent content. This is where I don't know how to be 70 years old. This is where a 70-year-old person or a 60-year-old or 80 or 90 or a 20-year-old or 18, this is where you guys should be creating courses based on your perspective. If you know what your niche is, you know what your niche market is. I don't know what it is, Megan. Okay, let's start there so we can start to figure that out. Okay? Last but not least, I want to show you guys this. How many of you guys honestly want to make a lot of money? Just tell me how bad you really want to make a lot of it, because I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not moved by money. Okay. I'm not moved by money, but I will tell you this. I would rather have money than not have money. Okay. I would rather have money than not have money. Why? Because I can overflow. My mind can settle. I can pay my bills for the year. That's it. I just want to pay my bills for the year. I hate paying bills. Hate is such a strong word. I hate paying bills. I hate getting mail. Remember back in the day when we used to love to get mail? Oh, did I get any mail? I would like to have National No Bill Month, National No Mail Month. Don't send me nothing, nothing. I don't even want to see it. Don't send me an email, none of it. Keep it, right? And guess what? When I started to have money, I paid my bills for the year because I don't want to think about it. I have better things to think about than the freaking light bill. Yes, I can put it on auto, whatever, but I'm like, let me just calculate it myself and pay it all up, and then they'll give me a refund if necessary, or add it to my next month's bill. That's what I was doing when the money was just coming in every week, so much so that it's like, what do I do with it? This is how you make money, guys. Monroe's motivated sequence. I want you to learn it. I want you to study it. I want you to go to the internet. I want you to live it. I want you to breathe it, because it's not about the money. It's about what the money is going to do for you. It's about the freedom. This is how I created Vibe. But if you back up, it's how I created, with Reagan and Andre. It's how I created Apprentice Minds with my sister. It's how I created a nonprofit organization. It's how I created SOS, Saving Our Sons. But if you back all the way up, I created all of those things because I was teaching, listen to this, I was teaching speech class. And my very first teaching job, I taught English, and one of my students was shot and killed. And I'm like, this is a problem. And then I went to a better school per se with 98% graduation rate, and another student was shot and killed, and another and another. And I'm like, this is terrible. And then Jason, that you guys heard today, Jason is one of my best friends of 30 years. My best friend that got shot and killed when I was in college, when I was 19, was Jason's best friend. That's how I met Jason, through Zed, right? Zed was from Michigan City. He was phenomenal. And if I go all the way back, right, that's where I got the bug. My pain became my purpose. And Zed got shot and killed. Another student got shot and killed. Every year I buried a kid. And then my son was 5 years old, and I'm like, okay, I don't have to worry about him right now. But then when he turned 12, I took my son to his first funeral, and I walked him down to the casket because I needed him to see, right? I got tired of telling him what was happening. I needed him to see these same boys that I was working with that were phenomenal. Wrong place, wrong time, wrong choices, whatever. I needed him to see it. And then I said, I'm going to do something about it. And I had SOS, Saving Our Sons. Then I changed it to Saving Ourselves. It was a nonprofit, turned into Apprentice Minds. Then I had no money. Then I got fired. Then I met a millionaire. Then he told me, go get rich and make your people rich and send them a magazine. So we're going to have a Vibe magazine. We got to change the name so we don't get sued, but right. But then I found network marketing. Then I figured that people don't know how to do network marketing because they will not follow simple systems. So then I said, I'm going to teach them Network Marketing 101. And then I realized that most people lack startup capital, lack a space to create. Are you guys catching the vibe right now? Put a 1 in the chat if you're getting that. I didn't do this overnight. Reagan didn't do it overnight. Dre didn't do it overnight. It was a lot of just doing. It was a lot of, like Jason said, being. I had to become this person by not quitting. And then I got in network marketing, made a lot of money, and then didn't make money because the owners didn't do stuff right. And then I launched my own company and became an owner with Reagan and 2 other people. And some of those people didn't do right. So then I took a break, and then I said, I think I can do it right. So then we launched Vibe. And some people still aren't happy. Some people are still like, Megan, you're a scammer. I'm getting hate everywhere, guys. And guess what? I'm giving them love. Well, let me know if you want to come back, because we'll be here. In the same breath of them saying how much they loved me a week ago, and then they get their first check and they Well, where's my spillover? Well, where's my money? Well, you promised me this and that and blah, blah, blah. I'm not even listening to those people, to be honest. I'm going to humble myself, though, and say, maybe I could have done something differently to share with them that you do have to do some work over here to make money. However, if you guys learn Monroe's motivated sequence of persuasion, duplication will not be hard for you because you're going to learn influence. So Monroe's motivated sequence is a 5-step framework: attention, need, solution, visualization, and action. It helps you clearly present ideas, solve problems, and guide people toward a specific next step. Perfect for teaching, selling, and leading with purpose. I'm not going to go into this fully. I'm just going to show it to you. And your homework is to learn this. I promise you, I taught it in speech class. I learned it back in 2000 and that would have been 2003, 2004. I learned it teaching a speech class. I didn't even know. Guess what? And I taught it. It was our final speech, our problem solution speech. Everybody type that in the chat. Problem solution. So my students in speech class at my school could not graduate high school without taking speech class for one semester. If they failed it, they did not get a diploma. If they failed it, they did not get a diploma. They did 9 speeches. The final speech was a problem solution speech. And I taught them how to do Monroe's motivated sequence. This was their Roman numerals for their 10 to 12 minute speech. They had to do a attention getter, grab people's attention. Well, what does grab people's attention? Well, money and the kingdom. So that's how I started. And I didn't lie to people. This is our 3x10 matrix. There's 88,000 positions in here. If you fill up this matrix, you can make money. Does spillover happen? Yeah, right? But leaders create it. Am I lying, guys? Did I not say these things on every call? Did I not tell people? I never told a person, hey, you can come over here and do nothing and make $1,800 a month. I said, no, if you come over here and you're a rookie, we will unlock 5 positions for you and you can make up to $1,800 a month when it fills up. But if you're not going to fill it up, then be quiet and wait. If you're expecting Carlos to spill over 363 people into your matrix because you're in his top leg, and now you have in your 5 levels in his top leg, you're in his level 1, your 3 people are in his level 2, your 9 people are in his level 3. If you're expecting Carlos to do all the work and put 363 people just in your organization before you put one person in, be quiet. Right? No, that's why I tell you guys, as soon as you sign somebody up, launch their business and replace them the day you sign them up, because you're going to meet your leaders 7 levels deep sometimes. So I grabbed people's attention and I told people, we are doing it for the kingdom. This is a kingdom build. Did I not say that, guys? Have I held up my end of the bargain? Right? This is a kingdom build. But in the kingdom, the word says, you don't work, you don't eat. That is a paraphrase, of course. It says faith without works is dead. That's what the word said. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at the people who wrote the Bible. Be mad at God. Don't be mad at me, because the word says. That's how I grab people's attention. That's how 75,000 people came over here. We have the matrix, get positioned early. One lady said, you can't tell me I didn't have spillover, and I came in at number 1,000. I worked my way up. I said, your sponsor quit, your sponsor quit, your sponsor quit. Now you're on an island. And it's going to take a minute for spillover to get to you. So guess what we're going to do? After we figure out July 11th, all the people who are like, give me my money back, I don't want to be over here. Well, those people are going to be deleted out forever. Those people can never come back, right? Like all dogs go to heaven. You can never come back. Those people who do crazy things to mess up the platform, I'm going to charge back, because they're messing it up for other people, right? So we're not letting those people come back. They're going to have to watch us win. But that was my attention grabber. Guess what? Then we have to define the need. Guess what the need of the people is? It's the key issues: lack of support, lack of startup capital, lack of space to create, lack of money, lack of time, lack of knowledge. Do you guys see how I used Monroe's motivated sequence to make the PowerPoint presentation that brought in 75,000 onlookers? And then guess what I told them? The need is the problem. That's the problem. That's how I make my PowerPoints. Satisfy, write this down, guys, is the solution. You're going to learn this. I'm going to teach it to you. Not today. I'm giving you some homework. Write the word solution in the chat. Satisfy the need. That is the solution. Guess what the solution is? Does anybody know what the solution is to people's key issues? If you look at my PowerPoint, what's the solution, guys? Type it in the chat. It's 3 letters. Let me wait. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you guys. Oh, that's good. U, yes. Vibe, yes. FID, yes. Run, yes. I love it. The solution is vibe. If you guys look at the PowerPoint, you're gonna see that entire PowerPoint is Monroe's motivated sequence. I start off by giving a disclaimer. Then I talk about what do you want? I get your attention with a question, because attention grabbers are questions, facts, statistics. I taught this in speech class for $3,000 a month. I don't make $3,000 a month anymore. So you got to grab people's attention. I did. I asked you guys a question, and then I told you what the problem is, key issues. Then I gave you the solution. It's vibe. And then visualization is, I want to show you how your life would be better by doing the solution, by being a part of vibe. Guess what I told people? How can your life be better? I want you to visualize you being a creator. Visualize yourself making more money. Visualize yourself leading you first. Visualize yourself leading a team. Do you guys get it? And then I gave you a call to action, right? Well, let me back up. Visualization, I told you, become a pro, become a legend. Here's what you're going to get. Here's the value. Visualize the value. And then I gave you an action plan. Sign up. Get back with the person who shared the info with you. Create a free account. Pick a membership. If you want to work the business, launch your business within 48 hours. Once you launch your business, sign up the person, plug them into the system, do it again and again. Do you guys see? I mean, are you getting it now? Put a 1 in the chat. Do you get it? If you master Monroe's motivated sequence, you can make a lot of money. I need you guys to learn this, right? Attention getter. If you don't have your audience's attention, you're wasting your time. You've got to get their attention. Some of you guys just don't know your power. If you're a trucker, if you're a real estate agent, if you're a grandma, if you are a single mom, if you're a single dad, find your niche and get people's attention, because there are other people out here like you. And then figure out what the need of the population is. Here's what you guys need to do when you're creating your courses. Be careful about just focusing on what you want. Focus on what the world needs. The world needs what you have. What do you have that the world needs? What does the world need? Type it in the chat. I'm almost done. And then give them the solution. I told that lady who is probably not going to come into this program. Listen to this. She's a Spanish teacher. Black lady, speaking Spanish. I don't know if I want to do it. And then Keisha said, well, I don't know if she's going to join the company. I said, if I were you, I would hire her and have her help you make a 7-lesson course, 10 to 15 lesson course, because she's a teacher. She does it every day, and pay her $100. Pay her $50. Matter of fact, pay her whatever, and have her help you create a course in Spanish on Network Marketing 101. Do you guys know whoever creates that first course in Spanish or French on Network Marketing 101 on confidence building in business 101. Do you know whoever creates that first in Spanish is going to make a lot of money? You know why? Because we have a lot of Spanish speakers over here and there's a need. We have people who speak Mandarin. We have people who speak French. If I were you, I would create a whole network marketing 101 course on Vibe by itself in multiple languages and use ChatGPT if you have to and put it back there and watch how many people buy your course. I would do it. I'm going to give you guys a chance to do it, but I already did it. I already have a Spanish teacher and a Spanish academy, and I already have a French, and we already put some Hindi back there. Okay. Visualize, activate the circuits in your audience's brain by helping them visualize your solution. And then act. You got to tell people what to do, guys. If you sign people up in this business, you have to tell them what to do. Because if you don't, they don't know what to do. You have to say, hey, you just joined. You want to be a customer? Do you want to make money? Oh, you want to make money? How much you want to make? How fast do you want to make it? Great. Make a list and let's expose your top 10 to 15 people today on a Zoom. Oh, I'm scared. No worries. I'll be right there with you. That's what you guys should be doing. That's the secret to network marketing. Do you guys know if you drive down 7 levels, you guys would be making 10, 20,000 a month between there? If you go get 3, who get 3, who get 3, who get 3, you could do it in 7 months. You can do it in 7 weeks. You can do it in 7 days. You could do it in 7 hours because I did it if you were serious about making money. This thing is not hard, guys. Do you guys see it? Have I uncovered some different things for you guys that if you will learn this, get their attention, tell them what the problem is, tell them the solution is Vibe, tell them how their life will be better doing this solution, and tell them what to do to join, and then repeat that with everybody as fast as you possibly can. Success loves speed and urgency. So here are your legend moves. What are your takeaways, guys? Throw some takeaways in the chat. I get it. I'm over 13 minutes. I promise you I will be better. I promise. Throw some takeaways in the group, and I want 5 of you to raise your hand real fast, and then we're going to get off of here. I got to go pick my son up, right? But I am on here every Saturday, and next Saturday, we're going to unpack month 1 through 3 and Monroe's motivated sequence, right? And then we're going to unpack the next week, more months and more months. And we're going to figure out this Wednesday on how to get you guys in month 1 through 3 for your courses. So you don't want to miss that. Okay. I need someone really quickly to unmute as and take about 10 seconds, 15 seconds and give me your legend moves, right? Give me a takeaway in 10 to 15 seconds. And a legend move means what are you going to do between now and when I see you again next week to move into that legendary status?
Hustle and build.
Hustle and build, Jonathan.
Listen. Real quick, I just want to say this. I'm gonna be super fast. You guys have to implement John Maxwell's theory, rule of 5. You know, I know a lot of people say, well, Johnny, I want to do a call, but no one's gonna jump on it. But here's the thing. John Maxwell said, if you take an axe and you chop a tree 5 times a day, eventually it's gonna fall. So what I'm saying is that do the calls every day, and people are going to be curious and be like, oh, he's still doing calls, she's still doing calls, let me jump on. So it's all in your hustle and your grind at the end of the day, or your hustle in your groove. You know, don't let the naysayers and the what ifs. See, people feed their fears and starve their faith, and they need to turn that around and start feeding their faith and starving their fears and saying, I'm going to do this regardless if nobody shows up, because if I be consistent, I'm going to have a packed house. So that's all I wanted to say, Megan. Thank you.
Jonathan, oh my goodness. Thank you so much. And listen, we're going to be hearing from some presenters. I haven't told them this, but I will tell them. They're going to be presenting Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Tuesdays and Thursdays. You guys are going to hear from these leaders because I need to be filled up too. Jonathan gets me hype. When I get off these calls and I've listened to Jonathan, I'm like, okay, I can run through a brick wall. I can do it. Thank you so much. Because guess what? You guys need to check on your strong friends. We need love too, right? We need encouragement too. So, Jonathan, thank you so much for being my mentor. I so appreciate you. Who else wants to jump in there? What is your takeaway for today? And what is your legend move that you're going to take? Yes, sir, I can. I love that. I love it. Thank you. Spill under. That's our new word. Coach Kola has coined it. Spill under. You spill under leaders and they'll spill under their people and they'll spill under their people, ladies and gentlemen. And we make disciples out of people, right? Thank you. And it is a command. Gwendolyn Robertson. And I see
Yes.
Marcia.
Hi.
What is
Can
your
you hear me?
takeaway and your legend move that you're going to take action? Legend moves are action steps that you're going to take. Yes, ma'am.
Right. What I take from here is constant motivation and reminder that you went through a death in your family, and I have too, just 3 days ago. And it's the wording I want to use is negative. Um, be it wherever it's coming from, that death can be positive for a lot of reasons, but it's in watching you just get through. I can do it too. And that's what I bring to this. And what I'm doing is just starting over again and see the steps that I didn't take and take them now. And the reason is the same, but the motivation is different.
Well, our hearts, Miss Gwendolyn, are with you. You know, I used to have empathy for people who lost their parents because um, empathy means to know what it feels like to feel that way. Sympathy
Mm-hmm.
means I went through it. I always had empathy for people. Now I have, you know, sympathy. It hurts, and I do want to be strong, for other people, right? I have my moments. But we are with you, Miss Gwendolyn, because we are a family over here. So we're going to love on you and
Okay.
encourage you. And if you ever want to talk, you probably have to talk to me super late at night, right? Because that's when my quiet time is, and that's when I think too much sometimes. So thank you for those of you who called me last night in the middle of the night, because mornings are hard for me and late at night is hard because that's when I talk to my dad. So I still talk to him now, but we're here for you, Miss Gwendolyn. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Is that Marcia?
Marche.
Marche, what is your takeaway? What is your legend action move you're going to take?
Um, my takeaway is slow and steady. The race is not given to the swift, but to those that endure until the end.
Mm.
Also, you don't have to start big. Do not despise small beginnings. At least start with one. Work
Yes,
your way up. And also, three, get three. Duplication.
absolutely. And it
And
might be, Marcia, I signed up one person. It took me a whole month in a company to sign up my next 2 and 3. And my one person signed up 8 people who signed up 10 and I had 8,000 people in my organization quickly, but I struggled to get 3. That was 2019, 2008.
yes, yes, slow and steady, and just be careful of your energy. Be careful to stay positive and not let your nose affect who you are and attack your character.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. I see Ronette, and then we're going to hop off. And I promise you guys, I'm going to get better at my time so that I can spend the last 15 minutes getting you guys as takeaways, because I see stop feeding your fears and starving your faith It's time to show off your power. Oh, that's a t-shirt. That is a mug right there. That is monetization at its finest. Thank you so much. Ronette, really quickly, what's your takeaway? What's your legend action move you're going to take between now and when I see you again on Saturday?
Great day, everyone. Great day. My takeaway is to keep building because the future does belong to dreamers. The future does belong to go-getters. The future does belong to believers and creators. And we have to sometimes make sure that we pour that into people, but have enough reserve for ourselves. And I am going to motivate myself as David motivated himself and stay encouraged in the process. My legend move is to learn the Monroe motivated sequence and to plan, 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 plan. What I know is that you can plan, but you also need massive action. So that's my legend move, because if you fail to plan, then you will plan to fail. And so I'm going to push my team and all others that I meet to create digital courses. Then they can then learn to use a YouTube channel to further use less time in working hard, but they can work smart. That's my takeaway today. Thanks for letting me share.
I love it. I love it. Listen, so here is my action step for you guys. It is learn Monroe's motivated sequence. You could do any PowerPoint presentation. You could, without a PowerPoint, if you understand attention, need, solution, visualization, action. I could talk about anything right now. I could talk about funnel cake right now, right? And I could put it in, because somebody sells funnel cake, and I stood in line for 3 hours, guys, to get a funnel cake one time. You know why? Because I really love them. And it's a need to have a funnel cake, because you can't get it all the time. You got to go to the fair. You got to wait for this. You got to wait for that. Somebody knew that they could make $1 million selling funnel cakes. Do you guys know, inside of Vibe, that I want some of you to go out and create food trucks? Do you know that people make millions of dollars on food trucks, and you don't have to get a brick and mortar business, and you can go figure out what the population needs? You know, they're doing fried Oreos. Do you know that, true story, there's this restaurant here called Stoney's Mountain, and I had no idea. My son was like, Mom, you know, the people who own that are, you know, like they smoke weed, right? You know, I'm like, I didn't even get it. They don't even open until 7 o'clock at night. They open at 7 o'clock at night, and they're open until like 3 in the morning on DoorDash. And you know, they have a churro fried like funnel cake waffle. You know how many churro waffles I've had in these 5 months? Do you know they sell breakfast food, right? And don't be thinking anything about me. I just didn't know. And guess who their target market is? Well, no, that's what it's called. It's called Stoney's Munchies. Thank you, Carlos. That's what it's called. No, true story, guys. I'm not even lying to you. If you go to DoorDash right now in Ohio, it is called Stoney's Munchies. And I did not get it. But I have DoorDashed that company so many times in these 5 months, because I don't eat until like 11 o'clock at night, and then I'm up for hours. There is a need out here. You got to figure out what it is. And they're probably making millions of dollars. And they don't open during the day. They open at 7 o'clock at night. 7 to like 3 or 4 in the morning. So anyways, we're going to learn a lot, guys. I want you to learn. I want you to grow. I want you to monetize your gifts, because that's what the word says. See, God did say in the word, through the lady with the vessels and the oil, it's in your house. You know what your house is? You know what your vessel is? You. You are the vessel. So you got to figure out what you have that the world needs and monetize it. That is Vibe. Are we all the way together yet? No, guys. We're 5 months in, but we're 10 days old. But we're gonna be. So I love you guys very much. Peace and blessings. I will see you on Monday at 1 and 8. We're doing presentations on those calls. No updates, presentation. So send your people on Mondays and Tuesdays at 1 and 8, presentation. Wednesdays, no calls because you need to be doing the calls. I'll be in the back office at 1 and 8 for Vibe Global. Thursdays, 1 and 8 presentations. You're going to hear from the leaders. And then on Fridays, 1 o'clock update. Saturday, masterclass. Peace and blessings. I love you guys very much. And and I will see you guys.
Wait.
Keisha. Yes, ma'am.
Oh man, you just threw me out there, didn't you? I'm working on it, honey.
Oh,
I sure am.
real quick. Keisha, tell the people, because Keisha mom is Miss Denise, okay? And I remember when Miss Denise was getting mad at Keisha when I first met Miss Denise, back when I was traveling around in February or whenever that was. And I told Miss Denise, if you don't leave that girl alone, leave her alone for a minute because you are on fire. She will get it when she gets it. And boy, has she gotten it. And she's traveled with me and she was in Chicago. And guess what she has just done? Miss Keisha, real quick, can you share the testimony of what you've been doing and how that's been working out for you financially?
Yes, ma'am. So, like you said, in February, my mother introduced me to Vibe and to Megan. And she was just, one thing about my mom is she's very passionate about helping people. And when she sees something that can help you, she's kind of forceful in a way, kind of shoving it down my throat. And I'm like, okay, Mom, let me get my mind together, because I was actually in a place in the midst of getting a divorce and everything. I wasn't in the right headspace at that time, and I had to get me together. I wasn't feeling great about myself, and I didn't want to commit to something that I wasn't going to give 100% to. So at that time, I was still following Megan. I was still listening in. And once we finally launched and I saw that it was a legitimate company, because I was being a little bit of a urchin at that time because I really wanted to know it worked. And once I saw that it worked, I was just like, all right, it's time for me to hit the ground running. I made that decision to put my best foot forward. And ever since, I really, to be honest with you, I started my launch this Monday, and I have now signed up 3 partners. Those 3 partners have come in and they hit the ground running because duplication is key. So but before I launched, I went to Chicago, and while I was in Chicago, shout out to the Chicago team. They did an excellent job putting it together and stuff, but the turnout wasn't exactly what we expected, and I was just like, we can't continue to do this, and I saw what Megan was going through and how she was so dedicated just to helping people and helping us, get out there. I was just like, I got to have that same anointing. So I prayed about it. I called on Holy Spirit, and I was just like, Holy Spirit, give me the same anointing. Give me that same drive to do better and be better. So I told Megan, I was just like, hey, when I get home, I'm not going to allow fear to stop me. I'm going to go ahead and set up my call. So I did that. Megan gave me the instructions, the 777 fast track. I got on there, and what I did when I was at Chicago, I wrote all my numbers down right out of my phone. I wrote them down. And I literally went one by one, even the ones that I thought, wouldn't take my call, wouldn't do it and everything like that. Or I was just afraid of just letting them know what was going on, because I was like, I'm not going to be afraid of hearing no. So I wrote them down, came back home, called all of them. It took me about 2.5 hours to call everybody, let them know. I had the script. Once I called them, well, first I set up my Zoom. Once I called them, they said they were coming. I sent them my Zoom link. Once I sent them the Zoom link and everything like that, I started working on my presentation. I actually did a script in Chat GPT and aligned it with the presentation. And I was just like, hey, I don't know exactly what to say. This is going to help me. So I put in bullet points. and got my script together. And then I went through the back office and started doing the onboarding and the welcoming and everything. This is just how I started, you know. And so I did the onboarding. I was like, okay, bam, fam. Okay, mad. All right, cool. I know what to say. I started building my confidence up because nobody can do it but you. You know, I stopped looking at people to do it for me and or to help me with it. And I started just doing it myself. I didn't care if I fell flat on my face. You know, I have to do it. And so I got in there and done it. The next day was my launch. So when I say I Holy Spirit is so wonderful how she just helped me through this, you know. As I'm doing my presentation, right before I did my presentation, Holy Spirit gave me a song, Rain, and it's talking about breakthrough. And I played that song right before my presentation, welcomed my people in, and I just started flowing all of a sudden. I started off with my prayer, gave thanks and honor to God, and I did my presentation. When I say I blew myself out of the water with it, I was just like, wow, that was an excellent presentation. After doing that presentation, I called not necessarily called everybody, but I text, you know, some and called the ones who said they wanted to be on. And I signed up 2 partners right there. So my 2 partners came in. Once they finally signed up and everything, I told them, I said, okay, now it's time to launch. I said, go to the 777, you know, it's time to launch. We got to duplicate, you know. And about 2 days later, I had another lady, she launched, and she got on the call. She's like, I'm not, you know, prepared. Like, it was just, everything was coming at her. And I said, that's how you know the enemy don't want you to do it. You know, when you're doing something right, you know, the enemy gonna come. So if the enemy ain't coming, you ain't doing something right. You know, if you're not getting some trials and tribulations or some friction, you're not doing something right. So I told her, I said, don't worry about that. I got you. If you need me to do the presentation, cool. She said, no, I got it, Keisha. Baby, she hopped on there and, you know, got to going through the presentation, you know, learning Zoom and everything. I was so proud of her. And then my good, I call her Auntie Megan. I don't know about y'all, but that's Auntie, that's family. We divinely connected. I call her Auntie Megan. And when I call somebody Auntie and consider them family, I'm there. So I said, Auntie Megan hopped on, you know, sealed the deal for me and that. And then I ended up having a whale. I ended up following up with her yesterday, and Megan helped me with her. That's why I sent it to the group, so y'all can also get on and just so y'all can see how to do it well, because she was so humble. Like, this girl is so gifted in what she does. She loves helping people, and she's the Spanish teacher and everything like that. She's so humble, and she really doesn't know, because she's secure. She got a husband that got his own business, and she's secure financially, so it wasn't money. And I'm a shark, so, and at that time I was like, you know, well, you can make money, and you know, and she was like, and I was like, Megan, I need some help on this one. So Megan got on there, and I just hit her up yesterday about doing the Spanish course and getting in there and chat GPN and getting the outline on what exactly we need to do. And she's been helping me ever since. And one thing I stopped doing is I stopped focusing on the income, because I want for nothing. And I also put that in our group. I want for nothing. God has already given me everything that I need. I'm just like a seed in the ground. You know, I have everything I need to produce. I stopped looking at the finances of what Vibe can do, and I started looking at what I can do for Vibe, you know. And I just keep pushing that. And ever since then, now I have attracted people to me like, hey, Keisha, I just left church, and I had people come to me, you know, like, hey, I'm sorry I missed your call and everything. When will you have the next one? And I was like, oh, sure, definitely. I got a call, you know, I'm setting up a call tomorrow, you know, Sunday at 11. Can you get on there? I don't know if I can make 11. Okay, well, what time is good for you, you know, on a Sunday and everything? Let me see if it fits into my schedule. And so now I got another one probably at 3 or 4 on Sunday. And when I say God has been awesome in this and just pushing me, and I haven't seen this drive until I joined Vibe. I didn't see this in me. And I thank Megan for, being consistent and not allowing, the naysayers, the haters to get her down, and keep pushing forward. And because of that, that's the reason why what has been in me, locked in me, has now unlocked. And network marketing, I told my mom the other day, I said, why didn't I do this sooner? You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't about doing it sooner. It's about being in the right place at the right time in the right position. And that's what I decree that every morning. I'm in the right place at the right time and I'm in the right position. I'm not lacking anything. I want for nothing. I have everything I need. Let's get out here and let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. And I'm here for life. So I thank you, Megan. That's my tidbit, not to keep, going, because, Vibe, we can keep on going because we're purpose. When purpose meets uh, an opportunity to present itself, it's hard to stop because you're driven. You got to grind, So yeah, that's my little bit.
So let me just interject here because I'm sitting here as a proud mama, practically in tears, because let me encourage you, parents out there, don't lose heart on your children. Keep speaking life into them. It doesn't matter what you see in the natural, the spirit is still working. You don't know what I fought through. You don't know the prayers and the that I said, and the nights I was crying my eyes out because I didn't know what was going on with my life. You don't know our story, but there's glory at the end of everybody's story.
And just to give y'all a little tidbit, I was delivered from homosexuality. I was in that lifestyle for about 7 years. The Lord delivered me from that. And ever since that deliverance and that setting free, he has continued to open doors for me, even in my identity, finding, that niche. And when I say your gifts will make room for you, I feel like Vibe has allowed my gifts to make room. And right now we're in a time and season where you cannot wait. Stop waiting. Stop hesitating. God is in control. He's on your side. All you have to do is trust. But within that trust, you have to bring action. Action speaks louder than words. I continue to tell my friends around me, you can say it all day. You can say you love me. You can say you want it, but you got to show it. You got to put action to your words. So stop sitting on the couch. Stop watching the TV, because I'm talking to myself. You know how when you preach and you minister to other people, you're really talking to yourself. So stop it. Stop it. Stop having excuses. No excuses. Oh, I was going to do this. Stop talking about what you're going to do and just do it. Be about your words. Be about your action. And let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. I'm here. If y'all on a call and I got time, I'm like Megan. I got the Megan anointing right now. I'm finna manifest by the end of September. I decree and declare that I would have triple, maybe even quadruple my income. I make $4,000 on my job. I am a technician at Quick Trip, and Quick Trip makes it hard to quit. But every time I go into work, I'll be like, man, I want to quit this so bad. Like, y'all understand? y'all, you want me to quit my job right now because, but I have to remember my job is not my source. It is my ministry. My job is not my source. It is my ministry. It is my assignment. And so you can't quit the assignment until Holy Spirit releases you to quit. And he told me triple. When I hit that 3, baby, I'm out. But and I plan to hit that 3 very soon because I get tired of waking up when I don't want to wake up,
Got to get off the call.
I know.
No, this is what it's all about. I don't like to stop people, I just want to say thank you for the 100 people who are still on here, because it's really not hard to do what we do. And Jason, I preface Jason all the time. He says simple and easy are not synonymous. It is simple to do what Miss Keisha is doing. It's not easy because you have to get out of your own way, and you know what you should be doing. You know that the blueprint is right there. If you want to do the entrepreneurial side of it, you want to work the 3x10 Legacy Network, it's the easiest comp plan people are ever going to work in life. It really is. It is the most sustainable one, right? And if you can just start. And I'm going to leave you guys with this. Thank you, Miss Keisha. I'm going to leave you with this.
Love you.
Love you back. Love you back. Show up to the events, because Miss Keisha has been to the Arkansas event and she helped me out, set up my equipment because I'm technologically challenged. She was then they drove to Little Rock, right? From Jonesboro, drove to Little Rock, and she helped me set up my equipment, and she was listening. She still hadn't taken action yet, though. She still hadn't taken action. It's one thing to hear. It's another thing to take action. Then they drove 7 hours, 7.5, 8 hours to Chicago from Arkansas and listened. But this time it was something different. Sometimes we get things in threes. This third time, something clicked. I was talking about whales and urchins and your dolphins who just want to have fun. Some people, guys, don't want to do any of this. They just want to show up to the convention. So guess how many people are going to start to show up when we go to Miami and we're in a mansion with all the educators, vibing out, having fun, taking pictures, photography, setting up our headshot. When we're in Miami, going out to eat, that's when a lot of people are going to come, because they're dolphins. They don't care about making money. They just want to be at the party. Some people just need to hear the facts. Urchins. Some people are whales. I don't care about money. I just want to help people. Tell me about that. Then you're going to run into sharks. And I did an activity in Chicago where I had them walk around and tell people, what is your dominant trait? And boom, something clicked. And Miss Keisha wrote all those names down and started making phone calls and put me on the phone probably with 10 people that day, 3 ways. Then she went home, and she didn't sit on her hands when she went home. She went home and went to work and did her own launch calls, did her own 3 ways. And all this stuff just transpired, guys, this week. And she's referred 3 people, and then her one person did the presentation. It's duplication of the system. So I love you guys so very much. Peace and blessings. I know this was supposed to be an hour, but I feel like when the spirit is moving, I don't like to interject. But thank you. I love you guys. Peace and blessings. I'll see you on Monday. Do the work. You got all day today. You got Sunday. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for me to do it. Take action. They're called legend moves. Peace and blessings, everybody. Have a great day.